Hi guys, welcome to a realm where fear lurks around every corner and nothing is as safe as it seems. Today we're exploring the top 13 horror movies streaming this June 2025 on HBO Max, Tubi, Hulu, and Prime Video. These films are packed with chilling scares, intense thrills, and unforgettable moments that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Handpicked from the best streaming platforms, each movie promises a terrifying journey you won't forget. Let's dive in. Number 13. Companion. Companion, directed by Drew Hancock, is a sleek and relentless sci-fi horror comedy that merges dark humor with visceral thrills. Hancock keeps the storytelling taut and efficient, favoring clever setups and practical scares over philosophical indulgence. Set mostly in a remote cabin during a weekend getaway, the film sustains a tense, escalating atmosphere from its supermarket meet-cute straight through a bloody crescendo. The story kicks off like a rom-com. Iris, Sophie Thatcher, the charming new girlfriend, meets Josh, Jack Quaid, in a grocery store, only for their cozy world to fracture when she's revealed to be a humanoid companion robot under his control. As they head to a secluded lakeside retreat with friends, the film morphs into a brutal, darkly comedic nightmare. With each twist, the narrative digs deeper into toxic relationships, control, and rebellion. Thatcher is magnetic as Iris, initially dutiful and sweet, then terrifyingly resolute once she confronts her programming. Jack Quaid expertly plays the entitled Josh, shifting convincingly from bro charm to self-serving menace. Supporting cast Lucas Gage, Harvey Guillén, Megan Surrey, and Rupert Friend add quirky, engaging texture to the dynamic mix. With its stripped-back story, tight pacing, and pitch-dark humor, Companion delivers a smart, punchy ride that keeps the audience guessing and rooting for the machine over flawed human. Number 12. The Purge. The Purge, directed by James DeMonaco, is a sleek, high-concept thriller that combines home invasion tension with sharp socio-political commentary. DeMonaco keeps the narrative tight and claustrophobic, favoring suspenseful build-up and brutal confrontations over flashy set pieces. The story unfolds in a near-future America where, once a year, all crime, including murder, is legal for 12 hours during an event called the Purge. James Sandin, a wealthy home security salesman, and his family barricade themselves inside their suburban fortress. But when their son shows compassion by letting a hunted stranger in, the night descends into chaos as masked purgers demand blood, forcing the family to fight for survival. Ethan Hawke leads as James with a stoic yet unraveling intensity, while Lena Headey adds emotional weight and quiet resilience as his wife. The film's masked antagonists bring a chilling sense of menace, using unnerving politeness to heighten the dread. With its simple yet provocative concept, brisk pacing, and raw tension, The Purge delivers a gripping and unsettling viewing experience. It's a lean, concept-driven thriller that doesn't waste time, perfect for audiences who enjoy high-stakes survival with a dark, dystopian twist. Number 11. Deadstream. Deadstream, directed by Joseph and Vanessa Winter, is a wild and inventive found-footage horror comedy that fuses old-school haunted house scares with modern internet culture. The Winters keep the storytelling tight and kinetic, leaning into chaotic energy and dark humor over traditional pacing. The story follows disgraced YouTuber Sean Ruddy, who tries to win back his audience by live-streaming a night alone in a haunted house. Armed with cameras, gadgets, and his obnoxious on-screen persona, Sean sets out to confront his fears, but quickly realizes he's provoked something truly malevolent. What begins as a desperate PR stunt spirals into a non-stop nightmare of possession, jump scares, and spectral chaos, all captured in real time. Joseph Winter, who also stars as Sean, brings a manic, cringe-fueled energy to the role, channeling equal parts horror and hilarity. His performance is deliberately over the top, making his descent into terror both satisfying and hilarious. Melanie Stone shines as a mysterious intruder with secrets of her own, adding even more intensity to the madness. With its stripped-down premise, frantic pacing, and relentless inventiveness, Deadstream is a clever, self-aware horror romp. It's perfect for viewers who love a blend of real scares and real laughs. a lean, bloody thrill ride that feels like Evil Dead by way of YouTube. Number 10. 1BR. 1BR, directed by David Marmor, is a taut and unsettling psychological thriller that explores the horrors hidden beneath the surface of picture-perfect communities. Marmor keeps the storytelling grounded and intimate, focusing on tension and slow-burn dread over flashy scares. The story centers on Sarah, a shy young woman who moves into a cozy apartment hoping for a fresh start. What begins as an ideal new beginning quickly spirals into nightmare territory when she discovers that the building's residents belong to a sinister cult-like group obsessed with obedience and control. As Sarah is broken down and reconditioned, she must find the strength to resist or become one of them. Nicole Bryden-Bloom gives a quietly powerful performance as Sarah, capturing the vulnerability and inner fight of a woman trapped in an impossible situation. The supporting cast, all eerily pleasant and composed, reinforces the film's chilling exploration of conformity and manipulation. With its stripped-back narrative, creeping tension, and claustrophobic setting, 1BR delivers a sharp and disturbing ride. It's a lean psychological horror that doesn't rely on jump scares, but instead burrows under your skin with its cultic menace, perfect for viewers who enjoy thought-provoking thrillers rooted in real-world anxieties. Number 9. We Are Still Here. We Are Still Here, directed by Ted Geoghegan, is a chilling and atmospheric horror throwback that blends classic haunted house terror with brutal gore and cosmic dread. Geoghegan keeps the story focused and tightly paced, favoring mounting unease and sudden, shocking violence over overproduced spectacle. The story follows grieving parents Anne and Paul Sacchetti, who move into a quiet countryside home, hoping to heal after the tragic death of their son. But their new beginning quickly unravels as the house reveals a dark, hungry presence and a history steeped in violence and secrets. As the spirits grow restless and the town's sinister intentions are uncovered, the couple must confront both supernatural evil and human malice. Barbara Crampton delivers a deeply emotional performance as Anne, balancing sorrow with resolve, while Andrew Sensenig plays Paul with understated vulnerability. The film also benefits from solid support by Larry Fessenden and Lisa Marie, who bring quirky intensity to their roles as spiritualist friends. With its stripped-down story, ominous tone, and bursts of vicious, practical effects-driven horror, We Are Still Here is a lean, moody nightmare. Number 8. Late Phases. Late Phases, directed by Adrian Garcia Bogliano, is a gritty, character-driven werewolf thriller that combines old-school monster horror with heartfelt drama. Bogliano keeps the storytelling focused and grounded, favoring emotional depth and practical effects over slick CGI. The story follows Ambrose McKinley, a blind Vietnam veteran who moves into a senior neighborhood shortly after a violent animal attack. When more residents start turning up dead under mysterious circumstances, Ambrose begins to suspect something far more dangerous is stalking the community. Armed with intuition, grit, and combat experience, he prepares for a final stand against the beast that lurks just beyond the tree line. Nick D'Amici anchors the film with a powerful performance as Ambrose, gruff, no-nonsense, but laced with quiet emotion. His portrayal gives the film a rugged heart, grounding the horror in real human resilience. The werewolf effects are refreshingly practical and visceral, capturing that throwback monster movie vibe while still packing intensity. With its stripped-back premise, methodical pacing, and raw practical action, Late Phases is a unique blend of character drama and creature feature. Number 7. Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise, directed by Lee Cronin, is a brutal, blood-soaked reinvention of the iconic horror franchise that swaps the woods for an urban nightmare. Cronin keeps the storytelling fast and ferocious, leaning into practical gore, relentless tension, and a relentless pace that never lets up. The story follows Beth, a young woman visiting her estranged sister Ellie, a single mother living with her 3 kids in a rundown high-rise. But when a mysterious Book of the Dead is uncovered in the building's basement, an ancient evil is unleashed, possessing Ellie and turning a night of family bonding into a gruesome fight for survival. With no escape and evil lurking in every shadow, Beth must face the monstrous version of her own sister in a battle soaked in blood and screams. Alyssa Sutherland is terrifying as the possessed Ellie, delivering a performance that's both heartbreaking and horrifying, while Lily Sullivan brings grit and raw emotion to Beth, evolving from uncertain outsider to chainsaw-wielding heroine. The film doesn't hold back, showcasing inventive kills, grotesque effects, and an oppressive atmosphere that recalls the franchise's darkest roots. With its stripped-down setting, relentless pacing, and gallons of gore, Evil Dead Rise is a vicious, modern horror ride. Number 6. The Purge Anarchy. The Purge Anarchy, directed by James DeMonaco, is a tense and action-packed thriller that expands the scope of the original's grim concept, blending high-stakes survival with sharp social critique. DeMonaco keeps the storytelling brisk and focused, favoring gritty urban chaos and relentless suspense over elaborate exposition. The story follows a diverse group of strangers, a waitress, a police sergeant, a couple, and a rebellious youth, thrown together as they navigate a citywide purge where all crime is legal for 12 hours. As they struggle to survive against violent purgers and corrupt officials, their paths intersect, revealing the brutal realities lurking beneath the purge's facade and the lengths people will go to protect themselves and others. Frank Grillo leads as Sergeant Leo Barnes, delivering a tough, determined performance that grounds the film in gritty realism. The ensemble cast, including Carmen Ejogo, Zach Gilford, and Keila Sanchez, adds emotional weight and varied perspectives to the unfolding chaos. With its expanded world, tight pacing, and relentless tension, The Purge Anarchy offers a gripping and provocative ride. Number 5. Child's Play. Child's Play, directed by Tom Holland, is a chilling and tightly paced horror thriller that launched a lasting franchise by blending supernatural terror with dark humor. Holland keeps the storytelling focused and suspenseful, favoring creeping dread and sharp scares over drawn-out exposition. The story follows young Andy Barclay, who receives a good guy doll named Chucky for his birthday. But when the doll becomes possessed by the soul of a notorious serial killer through dark voodoo magic, Andy finds himself in a desperate fight for survival against an innocent-looking toy-turned-deadly predator. Alex Vincent plays Andy with convincing vulnerability, while Brad Dourif's iconic voice work brings chilling menace and twisted personality to Chucky, elevating the doll into a true horror icon. The film's practical effects and puppetry create a palpable sense of unease that remains effective decades later. With its focused narrative, memorable villain, and blend of horror and humor, Child's Play delivers a suspenseful and unsettling experience that stands out as a classic in the slasher genre. Number 4. I Saw the Devil. I Saw the Devil, directed by Kim Ji-woon, is a brutal and gripping revenge thriller that blends visceral violence with psychological depth. Kim keeps the storytelling relentless and taut, favoring dark suspense and moral complexity over simple vengeance tropes. The story follows secret agent Kim Soo-hyun, whose fiancé is brutally murdered by a sadistic serial killer. Instead of turning him over to the law, Kim embarks on a ruthless personal vendetta, tormenting the killer with increasingly vicious acts in a cycle of escalating brutality. As both men descend into darkness, the film explores themes of justice, revenge, and the blurred lines between good and evil. Lee Byung-hun delivers a fierce and emotionally charged performance as Kim, balancing grief and cold fury, while Choi Min-sik terrifies as the remorseless killer, bringing a chilling charisma to his role. The film's unflinching violence and atmospheric cinematography create a haunting, intense experience. With its tight pacing, brutal action, and complex characters, I Saw the Devil offers a harrowing and thought-provoking thriller that challenges viewers to confront the costs of vengeance. Number 3. Carrie. Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma, is a tense and atmospheric horror classic that blends supernatural terror with emotional drama. De Palma keeps the storytelling focused and visually striking, favoring suspenseful build-up and iconic set pieces over excessive exposition. The story follows Carrie White, a shy and bullied high school girl who discovers she possesses powerful telekinetic abilities. As Carrie struggles with her oppressive home life and cruel classmates, her powers escalate, culminating in a devastating and unforgettable climax at the school prom. Sissy Spacek delivers a haunting performance as Carrie, capturing vulnerability and simmering rage, while Piper Laurie is chilling as her fanatically religious mother. The film's memorable cinematography and practical effects help build an oppressive atmosphere that heightens the emotional and supernatural stakes. With its tight narrative, emotional depth, and iconic moments, Carrie remains a gripping and influential horror film that explores themes of trauma, power, and revenge. Number 2. The Brood. The Brood, directed by David Cronenberg, is a disturbing and intense psychological horror that blends body horror with emotional trauma. Cronenberg keeps the storytelling focused and unsettling, favoring eerie atmosphere and visceral effects over conventional scares. The story follows Frank Carveth, a man investigating the strange therapy methods of Dr. Hal Raglan, whose experimental treatments cause patients to manifest their psychological pain in horrifying physical ways. As Frank uncovers the dark consequences of Raglan's psychoplasmics therapy, he confronts monstrous manifestations that threaten his family. Oliver Reed delivers a gripping performance as Frank, grounding the film's surreal horror in raw emotion. The film's practical effects are shocking and grotesque, creating a sense of dread that lingers long after the credits roll. With its tight narrative, unsettling themes, and groundbreaking effects, The Brood stands out as a bold and provocative entry in the body horror subgenre. Number 1. The Shining. The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick, is a masterful psychological horror that blends eerie atmosphere with unsettling suspense. Kubrick keeps the storytelling deliberate and visually immersive, favoring slow-building dread and haunting imagery over straightforward scares. The story follows Jack Torrance, a writer who takes a job as the winter caretaker of the isolated Overlook Hotel, bringing his wife Wendy and son Danny along. As the hotel's dark past seeps into their lives, Jack's grip on reality begins to unravel, while Danny's psychic abilities reveal the sinister forces at play. Jack Nicholson delivers a chilling performance as Jack, embodying both vulnerability and escalating madness. The film's iconic cinematography, eerie score, and atmospheric set design create an oppressive sense of isolation and impending doom. With its deliberate pacing, psychological complexity, and unforgettable visuals, The Shining remains a towering classic that continues to haunt and intrigue audiences.